How's it going, YouTube? So it's been a few days since we did the initial bevel, but I've got it in the press. Got it cranked all the way down to where it stops pressing. You can feel the hydraulics bleeding by. So it's under roughly 20 tons. And you can see that there's a nice bevel cut all the way around. And then in addition to that, I put a bolt. I don't know if you can see it in the bottom. The anvil is already tapped in the center. So I went and put a bolt to kind of position it on the welding table, make sure the edges are all nice and square. Put that additional press load on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to preheat it all with the oxygen and acetylene torch. Get it all nice and hot. And then start welding. Do a few passes with the stick welder. I got the ransom set up here. Probably do about 180 amps. Do a few passes to kind of set the base work. And then from that, build up in addition with that with the MIG welder. It's going to be able to put a lot more material down. There's some pretty big bevels ground all the way around. And we'll go from there. A MIG welder do a prettier job and all that good stuff. So, I think I got the GoPro set up for a time lapse. So you can watch me work. And then I'll talk back at you when I find something notable to chat about. Okay, YouTube, I don't know how good the footage of welding's gonna go. The GoPro is stuck in time-lapse photo frame opposed to time-lapse video frame, so instead of doing a cool time-lapse of the video, let's see if we can spice those together or not. On the bright side, it's like 4,000 photos it took, so there's that, you know. But I got it all welded up, started grinding and cleaning up the welds. Some sides look real nice, and other sides, front and back, were a little bit tougher because I focused on the other sides. These are be minimum, so if you compare it to the casting and the rust that it had, it looks pretty awesome, I think. But started cleaning up the top. I still haven't decided if I'm going to go and mill the top or just cleaning it up with the different die grinders is good enough. But these 3M roll lock blades or grinding discs are working awesome. So it is cold out here, so I'm not going to spend too much more time today. At some point, I might try to heat it up, just a torch, get it up to 100, 200 degrees. And rub it down with some oil, let that soak into the pores and be a rust preventer, so we don't have to do this in another 50 years. Hello, YouTube. So, one of the biggest tools I've been using on this restoration project, besides of course the welder, is these grinders. I use a couple different El Cheapo grinders from Menards, and in addition to that I use some different die grinders, air powered, and roll lock blades, and then I have a 3M grinder that's been phenomenal. I also have a handheld belt sander. It's got a 1/2 by 18 that I'll probably use at some point as far as cleaning out the rust and stuff inside the hardy hole, because it's going to fit in there perfect and do nice clean edges, but I haven't got it out yet. But so far, comparing the 3M grinder to something from the Harbor Freight, no comparison. The amount of power that this puts out compared to theirs, you can stop this one all day trying to get to go, no matter if you do a bigger air hose or going off of a 60-gallon air compressor. There is no comparison between this and the 3M one. The 3M one's got way more. You can still lean into it and stop it. I mean, it's not going to be as powerful as your angle grinder, which you could also stop if you lean into it hard enough, but it's at least a factor of 2. So these roll lock discs are awesome. I've been using 36 grit ones. I got some 60 grit ones here to do some finishing work, and I'm all done, just to kind of put a nicer finish on it all. But okay, YouTube, I'm not sure how good the audio is going to come through with this, but after looking at the top of the surface of the anvil, I really decided I really wanted it just nice and polished flat. So starting to take down some of the high spots. It's going very slow. It's making all these fine dust. So when I'm all done, I have to do a good job cleaning up the mill to get rid of all this stuff. The mill does have built-in way covers that protect them. So they're going to have to get vacuumed all off and everything wiped down and oiled and I'm all done. But we're doing, this is painstakingly slow. We're taking less than 1,000 per pass, but
I don't know, this plate's roughly 3/8 of an inch thick that they had forged onto the top when they built the anvil. So if we take 10, 15 thousandths into that, it's still going to have a lot of plate left, and it'll give us this gorgeous surface, opposed to this kind of this pocked and usable but not as nice surface.